in the beginning.
At Marvel, there are all these ghost projects. There are all these things that were like half started and graphic novels you'll never see because for one reason or other the project gets killed somewhere in the process. There's all these beautiful, wonderful Phantom books you'll never see. One of the horrible facts, and one of them was Jim Lee doing a Punisher Nick Fury graphic novel. You'll never see it. Back when Jim Lee was doing Punisher, every now and then between jobs he'd do another couple pages for this graphic novel. And this kept going on. Then they moved him to Alpha Flight, and he's doing some more pages. And then they move him on to X-Men, and he's doing some more pages. And the book got like 3/4 done. And then his work on X-Men just took up all his time. And trading cards and this and that and the other. He's just, and then the amount of time he grew doing all that work. At one point he said, Jim, we need you to come back and, you're almost there. Can you just finish this? And he looked at it, and it was like this evolution of like Neanderthal man standing up through his art. And he just couldn't bear to look at the early stuff. He'd grown so much farther. And he's like, no one has ever seen this graphic novel. I'm never finishing it. Put it in the drawer. So you'll never, it's like, it's true. No matter where you are, who you are, or even if you're Jim Lee, you get better if you stick to and apply your craft. It's like all those guys at CrossGen.
Right.
Oh my God, they all got your Steve McNiven's, your all these guys, your Jim Chung's, all these guys got so much better when you weren't looking at their work at CrossGen. And it was gorgeous work. You just didn't look at it reading your Superman
and then
Batman.
Of course. And then suddenly they all came back to Marvel and DC, and they were like 1,000 times better than they were before they left.
You see, this is the beauty of Marvel. No, they all came to Marvel. Marvel looked at, we're grabbing all that. That's like, yeah, I love Marvel. Do you see any of those guys? No. It's the guys. No, the CrossGen guys. Like, here's a talent. No. I'm not dissing DC. I'm saying that here's this talent pool, and the people who went after it like crazy maniacs were Marvel. It was just sitting there. It's like one of the weird things I find out about DC is the way everything's compartmentalized and kind of ghetto. That you can't here's this guy is a Vertigo artist. This guy is a Vertigo writer. Don't you dare put him on a DC book. He's a Vertigo guy. And then you get someone so here's Jason Aaron doing Scout.
Right.
This great book at Vertigo. And are they getting them to write Batman? Are they getting to do this? No. And then you see guys at Marvel going, that guy's really good on Scout. How would you like to do Wolverine? Boom!
You mean Snickety Snicky, Here Comes the Stabbing?
Yeah! Snickety Snicky, Here Comes the Stabbing, top 10 book.
Hey, I'm buying it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Wasn't that cool with the lightsaber claws?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that unbelievably cool?
Let Sean answer that question.
I'm Sean Chen, working for Marvel Comics. Right now I'm doing Dark Reign Fantastic Four, and before that I probably did just about every book, every character in Marvel. So I probably started out, and I started at Valiant, and then did about 4 years there, and then moved on to Iron Man. And I did 3 years of that with Kurt Busiek, which is probably what I'm most well known for, which is Star Wars a long time ago. And after that I did X-Men, the End, Wolverine, Elektra, and right now I'm kind of bouncing around in between just short miniseries until I find something to land on again. Hopefully after my baby grows up and becomes more independent, I can actually focus on my career again. So in terms of breaking in, you probably hear there's a lot of chatter, especially right now for some reason, about how to break in. And I think it's a good sign because that means the industry's growing and people are interested again. But I kind of never really understood that because I think really it's really easy to get in. I mean, it's easy. The process is basically you show your work to an editor and it's really good and they have to
It's easy when you're Sean Chen.
No, the thing is the hard, very...
No, I like to say that the first job is the easy one to get. It's the second job that's the tough one.
Right,
and the third. Because, a lot of times with editors, it's a, what have you done for me lately kind of situation.
Or it's also, Sean Chen, he does good Iron Man. And then you're like, I'd like to do Superman, or I'd like to do this.
Right.
Oh, he's the Iron Man guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that no matter what you do, don't you find that that first big breakout thing that defines you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's also things that, one of the reasons I think I'm known for Iron Man the most is because I went to school and as an industrial designer. I was going to be an industrial designer, which is basically like car styling and designing toasters. And I really wasn't really good at drawing people. So the first gigs that I got were just like Iron Man, or Exo Man, where the guy's covered up in like he's basically like an automobile. And then as I got better, the characters got more and more naked until like then I drew Electra, and then I figured, I made it. So, but in terms of breaking in, I would say I think there's that book by Malcolm Gladwell that just kind of did a real hard target study on how you succeed in anything. And I think the conventional wisdom now is it takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice, which is just like really focused and endless repetition. I think the best way to get that is to draw a comic for anybody for like $10 a page or whatever, and that's the best deliberate practice. And just get a lot of drawing and having writers dictate what you draw, so you don't end up drawing what you draw really well over and over again.
Wow, I like you.